What's going on, guys? Josh here at Trax RC. In today's video, I'm going to be bashing the ARRMA Infraction that I converted to 3S here at the empty parking lot location. And of course, last time I was here, you guys know that I blew up the stock brush motor. And now that we're on a brushless power system, it's going to be pretty exciting to see what this thing can do here. And it's going to be a lot of fun, I think. It wasn't all too fast on the stock system, but I was able to do some drifts and stuff in the parking lot here. But I'm expecting that it's going to rip. So without further ado, I'm going to switch you guys to the GoPro.
All right. 3S. Ooh, we got a good drift going. There's like no traction. These tires are bald. Maybe I'll just burn the tires off. Oh, it just cut out. Didn't like that. It's starting to get colder out too. It's about like 45 degrees, but I'm in the sun, so it's not that bad. Usually with this RC, it runs very hot. So it's gonna be interesting to see if it runs hot today. It's definitely getting a little bit warmer though. Jeez, I love this thing. Yeah, definitely a lot better on 3S in this location. Jeez, just holds the drifts for so long. Look at this. Drift, 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 drift. Let's go. Uh-oh, it cut out. I don't think that's ever happened unless it gets too hot, but it shouldn't be that hot. It's not that hot at all. Yeah, it's actually running very, very good. So just turn it off and turn it back on. Nothing. Oh, now we got it. The throttle trim was messed up a little bit. Oh, let's get back to ripping, folks. Oh, this guy on a tractor's coming. It's gonna be loud here for a second. You know what? He's gonna take a second. I don't want him in the background as audio, so I'm gonna start a cinematic edit for you guys with this thing until he passes.
Yeah. What? Ay, feeling like I'm top 5, top. Ay, yeah. Look, I know I'm top 5. This gon' make the block ride. Caught them on the back street. Gotta tell them bye-bye. They don't want no beef. No, this isn't Five Guys. Yeah, I'm coming for the chicken. I ain't talking Popeyes. We don't do a part-time. I was working part-time. Tell them part in my grind. Just a light-skinned boy coming from the dark side. Always talking that real. Go and check the archives. Ay, get it how you live it. And why on the fitted, you be telling them who did it. I be going crazy with it, I should be committed. I know that they...
Uh-oh, in the middle of filming an edit, and I think the pinion or the spur might have came loose. Or a drive shaft popped out or something. Yeah, it's definitely in here. Well, I got a ton of content planned for this thing today, so along with basically all my other RCs, so I'm gonna fix it really quick, and hopefully there's nothing actually broken, it just came loose, but let's take a look at this thing. Alright guys, so I got it all taken apart, and I kind of put it back together here with the other half of the case off so you can see what I'm talking about. But basically, I took it apart, everything looks fine, but when I roll it, you can see that it moves, but the spur gear isn't moving, so I think a pin might have either broke or fell off. So I'm gonna take the slipper apart and see what happened. And another thing to mention, I got a hole in my tire. It does go all the way through into the foam. If I get a little hex driver in here, you can see the foam peeking out. So yeah, that's ironic. I think that happened today because I didn't notice it before. But yeah, I'm gonna fix this real quick and put you guys back on here in a second. Alright guys, so I found the issue. It's not what I thought, and it's actually not the best design, I guess. And I'm gonna have to think about some metal upgrades in the future. But this is the spur gear that I was running. This is the stock one. I'm not sure what tooth this one is. It might be the 50 tooth, I think. I think it is a 50, and the stock is a 54. And the issue that I was having is that when I had the whole slipper clutch assembly all put together, I was basically cranking down on this plastic nut, and it just wasn't getting tight, and I could still move the spur gear when everything was cinched down. and I was cranking on it with this tool, you know. I mean, it just was not getting tight enough for this thing to engage on the plate right here. So basically, after further investigation, I found out that this plastic piece that holds the bearing is basically all wore down, and you can see it's got like a beveled shape in there. This kind of has a beveled shape, and if you compare the two spur gears, you can see that this one is more rounded and this one's more straight edged. So when I put this assembly on this spur gear, and let's just say it's the same thing over here, it might be hard for you guys to tell, but this one is shorter if I were to take off the spring and the bearing. So what that is doing is it's basically shortening the amount of engagement that it has on this plate, and it's just not able to get tight because these two pieces are wore down. So I'm gonna have to swap over to the stock spur gear, which is a bummer. It's not gonna be as fast, and I like it on the spur gear, you know, it runs really good. So yeah, that's a bummer. I am still running on the 18 tooth pinion, so I guess I could bump that up. But yeah, we're just gonna have to see, and this spur gear is going back in. I'm just gonna work on fixing this now, and I'll put you guys back on when it's all ready to rip.
All right, we are back in action, ladies and gentlemen. I actually was able to put another 50 tooth spur gear in there. I had an extra one. I forgot that I bought two at one point, so it actually feels like a little more punchy. I feel like the old one was slipping a little bit because it was all wore down. But yeah, I'm gonna have to look into a metal upgrade for that piece that holds the bearing in place, because I think that's the issue, is that that is plastic. And that's something that can also happen on a Stampede 4x4 if you don't upgrade that part. It looks a little bit different, but it basically does the same job as the one on the Stampede. Gotta rock my steering. Oh, that's a good rock. Oh, it's all the way up there. I need some tools to get that one out. That's never happened to me. A little 2.5 ProTech RC is gonna have to do. There we go. So the reason why I got a whole setup back here is because I am, basically there was a 4.5 day weekend, half day Thursday, got out of school at 10 and I did some work and stuff, and then I came out here after work, and that was about an hour drive. I guess you guys are probably curious as to why I only film on the weekends and why like I always have to come out here to this area. Basically, there's nothing by my house for RC related stuff. Why did I lose throttle? There's one skate park, and it's kind of mid. It's a big skate park, but there's only really like a few good jumps. It's the one with like the parking lot and the road, but there's that skate park and that's it. So I come out here a lot, and my family has a camper out here at a campground. So we usually go there on the weekends, not every weekend, but when we do, I always bring some RC cars, and this is where I get most of my content because there's so many places. Why isn't this working? There we go. Throttle trim was messed up again. And I'm sure you guys have seen some campers in the background of some videos. That's why I only film running videos out here, because there's so many places and it's a lot of fun. There's nothing like that by my house, so. But yeah, I came out here. We got a 4.5 day weekend, and I'm gonna get a ton of content done, basically for the rest of the winter. Just, I have a list of videos on my phone that I need to get done, and I'm gonna try to knock out all of them. Some of them are shot videos, but those I'm not gonna be able to do here. But all the running videos I'm gonna try to get knocked out. There's only one more weekend of camping because they close down during the winter, and I think closing weekend is next weekend. So I think, what is going on with this throttle trim, bud? So there's next weekend, I think that's closing weekend. So that's gonna be the last time I can make any RC content for running videos. Plus it's just not fun to drive RCs in the cold. I mean, this is honestly pretty cold too. My hands are getting a little bit numb, but it's really not bad and it's very tolerable. But like when it starts snowing and all that, and you're messing with gloves, I mean, it's impossible to film. Batteries die like within seconds, so it's just not fun. And that's why I stick to workshop videos in the winter. But in the winter, I'm also gonna be focused on this thing and building that up a little bit more. Did it just die? I think it did. That's gonna be it for this video, guys. I feel like it was a pretty good video though. I enjoyed it. So guys, if you did enjoy this video, leave it a like, share it with others so I can grow my channel. And with that, I'll see you guys in the next video on Trax RC.
Yeah, look, I know I'm top 5. This gon' make the block ride. Caught them on the back street. Gotta tell them bye-bye. They don't want no beef. No, this isn't Five Guys. Yeah, I'm coming for the chicken. I ain't talking Popeyes.